Welcome back to the Mason's Arms. My name is Jo Tomlinson and today I will be presenting session 2 of 3 on pricing. So in this session we're going to be talking about upselling, how we can get people to buy from us more often and when they do buy from us to spend more. So let's have a think about how we can get this upselling into our selling proposition. So we're going to want to increase the purchase value when people buy from us, and we want them to buy from us more frequently. Got a good example with buying from you more frequently that's about hairdressers, but it works for lots of other industries as well as hairdressing. Now, if I go to the hairdressers every 6 weeks and I don't book before I leave, there's a good chance that I'm going to get to week 8 before I realise that I can't do anything with my hair. And then it might be week 10 before I can actually get an appointment that I can do. So if I book every 10 weeks by doing it myself, but you could have booked me in before I left the salon, then that's 10 weeks versus 6 weeks. So the frequency of purchase can be 50% increased just by having a booking system, just by catching me before I leave when I'm all happy with my new hairdo, and you just say to me, right, 6 weeks from now will be whatever date that is, 10 o'clock in the morning, good for you? Get me booked in, I'm happy with that, I don't have to think about it, and I'm coming back in 6 weeks rather than what might be 8 or 10 weeks down the line. So we want to think about how we can get your customers to spend more when they buy from you and to buy from you more frequently. Imagine you've got a restaurant and your restaurant does themed nights. So you've got people coming to your restaurant before your theme night runs. Let's advertise it then. Let's put up posters or have flyers on the tables or mention it to people that actually you've got a theme night coming up in 4 weeks or 8 weeks' time that they might also be interested in. And have those on your website as well. So if somebody's coming, they might be booking for a special occasion. Have that special occasion, lovely, they booked for that night. But while they were on there on your website, maybe they've seen that you also do theme nights and they're thinking, oh, actually, we might come back for that theme night as well. We might book that now, or we might wait and see how we feel about it after we've been that first time and then book in to come and see you again really soon. So how can you in your business increase the frequency with which people buy from you? Linked purchases and bundle offers are another way. So people like airlines, well, they're great at this, but you might be great at this too. Imagine you've got a hotel or a bed and breakfast and you've got a reasonably priced room. So somebody buys from you a reasonably priced room. Well, you're going to want them to also buy breakfast, are you not? Maybe an evening meal, possibly come into the bar. You might go into some receptions and they've got things that you can buy that might be about the location that you're in, or even just like gifts and things that people will have then in reception. So you get somebody through the door based on the thing that they're coming for, but you then add on to that additional linked purchases. Insurance companies are great at this. You go on to get your car insurance and they're wanting to sell you all sorts of breakdown cover and legal insurance and all sorts of other things. And airlines, wow, they've really got it nailed down. You now can only put your bum on a seat. You can't even take a bag with you now without paying extra. So think about how you could use linked purchases and bundle offers to get people to pay more often when they come and visit you, because that will have a huge impact on your profitability. People often ask me, but should I use discounts and promotions? People are always using discounts and promotions, but people are often not using discounts and promotions in the right way. Discounts and promotions should be used when you want to give them and not when you're asked. So if somebody asks you for a discount, the answer should really be, well, actually, if you want to pay that amount of money, this is what I'm going to take away from the service that I've described to you. So if that's not what we're doing, if we're deciding that we're going to put on a discount or a promotion, then why would we do that? Well, if we've got a shop, if we've got a retail establishment, we might have some old stock that we need to get rid of. Well, that's a great thing to use on a discount or a promotion. Maybe the packaging's changing and we need to get rid of the stuff that's in the old packaging. Yeah, brilliant. Discount the old stuff, get the new stuff visible. If it's a new product or service, you might want people to try it for the first time. So you might put on a discount for a short period of time or for the first time they buy that new product or service. It might be seasonality. If you've got a bar and it's empty on Tuesday nights, then you might want to put in a buy one get one free offer or a quiz night or something that gets people through the door. You can put on all sorts of different things. I think the wackiest one that really left a lasting impression with me was when I once went into a bar that was offering a curry with every pint that you bought. Now that's quite an offer, but how else are you going to get somebody in on those nights when normally it would just be you and one local sat in your pub? So seasonality is a great way, and hairdressers use that and lots of different places. It might be a time of day or a day of week, or it might be a month in the year. You might be a really seasonal location. So you might put on discounted things off season because you know that you'll be full during the season, but you might want to encourage people to come in when it's not high season. Another thing that you can do, remember we were talking about not giving people a discount when they ask for it. A way of looking at this is to look at something called a price anchor. Have you ever noticed when you see that car advert on the telly, it's always, they'll put it on there and they'll say, models start from £12,000, model shown £32,000, because they're getting you to buy in to the higher model and anchoring a price for a service that people have bought into. So if you're talking about something that's a high price, a high ticket, but it's got a high emotional buy-in, that somebody really wants that quality of goods or service, if they then say, actually, I can't spend that amount of money, I don't want to spend that amount of money for whatever reason, then you can say, well, yeah, I can do something about that. Actually, I can give you this lower priced service. So you might have, I don't know, a platinum room, and somebody says, oh, I love the look of that room, but I can't afford it. And you go, well, actually, here's a mid-tier price one. And they go, but I really wanted the four-poster bed, or the fact that it's got a cafetiere in the room, or whatever it might be that you're offering that makes that room the top room, or the view, or whatever it might be. And now suddenly you've got a fear of loss. Now we as the human animal have a real fear of loss. And once you've sold us on something really shiny, we don't want to give it up. So we might suddenly find the extra money for that higher priced model. If you sell us that in a really good way, and then they say, we can't afford it, actually they might find a way to afford it because they don't want to give up on those things that they would have to give up for the price that they're prepared to pay. So when somebody says to you, I don't want to pay all that, you must downgrade them. Otherwise, they feel that that price that you gave them for the first thing that you showed them, that you were trying to scam them in some way. So you've got to downgrade them. So you could have, I don't know, 3 different levels of product or service. You could have platinum, silver and gold. So you've got 3 levels of service, and you start off with the high one, you price anchor them, you bring them down into the mid-range one, and then, you know, maybe they still can't afford that, and then you tell them about the really basic one. And then you might then find that they upgrade to the middle one. That's something called mid-tier pricing. And loads of people are doing it around you, and you won't even notice that they're doing it. So if you're only selling one level of product or service, there's a good chance that you can add a higher level in and possibly a lower level in so that you're still selling the majority of the thing that you sell now. But sometimes you're going to sell in the higher level service. Maybe let's call it the platinum level. So you're going to sell the platinum level sometimes, and occasionally people are going to say, I can't afford all that, I don't want to spend all of that. And now you've got a lower level service that you can also offer them. But understanding that fear of loss means that if you go in at the highest level of service and they say, I don't want to buy for that amount of money, then you can say, oh no, that's fine. Rather than giving them a discount, I've got this lower level package that I can offer you. So would you like to forego breakfast or downgrade your room or whatever it might be? But you already know what that is. So you're not squirming in your seat and being uncomfortable when they've said, oh, is there anything you can do for me on price? So move them down to that lower level, which might be the level that you're currently selling at. So it actually doesn't matter at all because you would have got that price anyway. Or if you get to that price, they might want to pay less than that and you have a lower level of service, but now you've taken things out of it. So it's not costing you the same amount and they're also not feeling like they've got one over on you and got a discount, or that you were just trying to get more money out of them for that higher level of service. The next thing that I want to talk about in upselling is how to make buying easy. Because if we make the buying process easy, then people will follow it through to the end. And they'll follow it through to the end more often. So if somebody is on your website and they're looking to make a booking, we need to make that as easy as possible. We need to add in e-signatures on things wherever we can. We need to put in card machines, online payment options and pay now options. And if we've got ongoing services that we're providing, perhaps we've got a retainer that we've got with somebody and it doesn't even need to be the same every month. Maybe we should think about direct debit so that people only need to think about that once right at the beginning of the journey. Because the easier we make that, the more likely it is that somebody will make the sale, that they will follow that through right to the end. And not only will they follow that through and get you that sale, but they'll come back to do it again because it was easy. Now, I understand that some of these payment options, they cost money. You know, these payment providers, they're going to have a charge. But wouldn't it be better to have 98% or whatever it is for those charges of that sale rather than none? Or if we've got increased frequency of purchase because we made it so easy, you need to have a look at that and look at how that affects your profitability. But the easier we make it for people to buy from us, the more likely they are to buy from us and the more likely they are to buy more often. So that's the end of session 2. I hope you found the session interesting and useful.